when I saw the photographs for the first time, and I said to the commander of the Criminal Investigation Division who was showing them to me, I said, why are the translators around the prisoners? Why are the translators in the cell block? And he said, ma'am, those aren't translators, those are khaki interrogators.
Khaki was hired by the Department of Interior out of a little town in Arizona called Sierra Vista, and they were hired to do database work. And that contract, which was sort of a blanket contract that allowed them to do a whole bunch of different things, was used to do interrogation in Abu Ghraib. What ostensibly was a contract to do clerical work or IT work turned out to be getting information not from a computer but from human beings in a notorious prison in Iraq. At the time of the scandals in the spring of 2004, roughly 50% of the interrogators were private contractors.
It just seems to me abundantly clear that we cannot hire private contractors to perform a function as inherently governmental, inherently sensitive, indeed inherently explosive, and for which there must be accountability, as is the interrogation of prisoners.
The contractor is safely in an office in the United States somewhere, so no direct supervision. And to just simply say, well, I guess they got out of control, I don't know where they were taking their instructions from, it seems to excuse all of them.
You do not put personnel who do not have allegiance and 100% loyalty to America, you do not put them in sensitive key government activities like military intelligence gathering.
They were so desperate to get people to fill these positions as translators that they were just hiring anybody that approached somebody and obviously had command of the English language in addition to the Arabic language or Farsi or whatever it may have been.
There was people who maybe spoke the language, but it was broken, but could not read it or write it. And I'm talking about English here. And they were hired. They were never given a test. Nobody was given a test. I was never given a test. The test I was given was a phone conversation for a minute. Military trusted us. Military trusted Titan. Titan came and said, here's a linguist that we have hired, we have trained, tested, we put our trust in, he passed his security clearance, or he got some kind of a clearance. You should trust him in everything he does, everything he say.
If you are a U.S. soldier and you hurt an Iraqi civilian and that becomes known, you will be court-martialed. But if you are a U.S. contractor and you kill an Iraqi civilian and that becomes known, you will be sent home. And then you can come back the following week and you can work for a different contractor.
My question is in regards to private military contractors. The Uniform Code of Military Justice does not apply to these contractors in Iraq. I asked your Secretary of Defense a couple months ago what law governs their actions. Mr.
I was going to ask him. Go ahead. Help. I pick up the phone and say, Mr. Secretary, I got an interesting question. This is what delegation, I don't mean to be dodging the question, although it's kind of convenient in this case, but never. I really will. I'm going to call the Secretary and say, you brought up a very valid question, and what are we doing about it? That's how I work. Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
Are any of these allegations being investigated?
My recollection is, and I think it's okay to say this, is that the investigations are ongoing.
Yes, sir.
And that time will tell.
All major military contractors have a board of directors and a senior management that is composed of senior retired military personnel. And this allows them to be able to go get contracts.
Lawrence Delaney, EVP, Leslie A. Rose, Senior VP, Assistant Secretary of the Air Force, former officer, Army Corps of Engineers.
Washington is a phenomenally incestuous place. Retired senior officers, Capitol Hill staffers, and defense industry. You know, The usual suspects come back again and again. The major corporations, these cartel and monopoly corporations, they've figured out how to legally buy influence.